What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another Fridge Financials video. In today's video, we are breaking down a stock that has rallied 3,000 as high as 5,000% in just one day. What happened? What's going on? What's the news? And what kind of asset am I looking at investing in as a result of this? So if you are excited for today's video, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, turn on those bell notifications for all future uploads. The stock we are talking about is ACO Holdings Incorporated. This ticker symbol changed recently from Octo now to Orbs at the time of recording this video. And take a look at this momentum and this insane rally that we have here. So again, this would be on September 8th at 4:15 in the morning, and it goes as high as 3,000%. Unbelievable returns. Unbelievable returns at the high of $83. If you wanted to say, even, when it closed here, at $1.45. If you held shares at the close and it rallied up to those highs, you're looking at over a 5,000% return. Now, what is causing Orbs to do this? Why this crazy multi-1,000% rally that has also since yet come back down to reality here? What is the reason as to why this has happened? What kind of rally caused this? Because we had Open Door up 8%, we had Oracle up 30%, we had Tesla was up like 8% on Friday. We had another company, I'm blanking on the ticker symbol right now, that was up like 40% because they partnered with Microsoft. I think it was IB. I don't even remember. It doesn't even matter, honestly, at this point. But this company here was over 3,000%, as high as 5,000%. Why? What is the reason behind it? And the reason behind it is because they have looked at buying Sam Altman-backed Worldcoin tokens. And our boy Dan Ives is here as well. So ACO Holdings raises $270 million to buy crypto coins linked to OpenAI's chief digital ID project. And Sam Altman, if you guys aren't familiar with him, I don't know how you're not. He is the guy who has been leading the way for ChatGPT and OpenAI for all AI softwares for the longest time. And what is Worldcoin? What are we talking about here? What does it mean? How did this news happen? What is going on here? So traders are piling into a corrugated packaging company that will buy tokens linked to OpenAI chief Sam Altman's iris scanning crypto group, sending its shares soaring 3,000% in a single day. ACO Holdings, which sells custom packaging products and also has a unit focused on e-commerce inventory management, said on Monday it would implement a first-of-its-kind strategy to scoop up WorldCoin tokens, which form a key part of Altman's World Digital Identity project. The group raised $270 million selling shares to a group of investors to fund its initial purchases of WorldCoin. It also said that it would tap Dan Ives, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy behind Tesla stock and how much he loves it and stuff like that, a veteran Wall Street analyst known for bullishness on Tesla, as its chair. That is a huge news announcement that you get. You're raising $270 million. This company was worth like $8 million, I think, or something like that, or maybe like $20 million. I'm not really quite sure. But now it's just unbelievable, the valuation we have here. And also putting Dan Ives as a chair is very, very interesting. ACO shares surged 5,600% early on Monday, swelling its market value to $210 million before slipping towards the end of the session, closing just a mere 3,000% higher at $45.08. Trading volume in its stock was at one point roughly 54,000 times the average 20-day, according to Bloomberg data. Pennsylvania-based ACO, which will change its name to Orbs in allusion to world's orb-shaped iris scanners, joining a growing list of so-called cryptocurrency treasury companies seeking to mimic the tactics of tech entrepreneur Michael Saylor's strategy. As we know, MicroStrategy, or now renamed as Strategy, was the company, or is the one who buys a bunch of Bitcoin. You're always buying Bitcoin, using it as a treasury, essentially. Now there's other companies that are trying to do the same thing, whether it's through Ethereum, whether it's through Dogecoin. BitOrigin has one through Dogecoin. You have Upexi, which has Solana. There's all these different kind of companies that are doing this kind of idea of creating treasuries. Now, the market value of Strategy, previously a staid software maker, has surged almost $100 billion in recent years and has also raised funds on equity and debt markets to purchase Bitcoin. Altman's digital ID project World developed eyeball scanning spheres that allow users to verify WorldCoin transactions. The product launched in the US in July. And this is what the orb looks like right here. We're going to talk about what in the heck we're talking about here. ACO said it raised $250 million in private placement of its shares with crypto-first investors, including Mosaic, I don't even know, Discovery Capital, and Kraken. That's nice. Cantor Fitzgerald, the brokerage controlled by the family of U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, acted as financial advisor. They also raised an additional $20 million in a deal with Bitcoin mining company Bitmine Immersion Technologies. So, what is this? What is it that we're talking about here? So this to me is a very interesting software. And again, this is why you get that 5,000% move. You have put Dan Ives, who's bullish on Tesla, as the chair. You get $270 million bought into it. And again, as we hopefully would have guessed, people pulled the price back down by taking a lot of profits. How could you expect it to go much higher as a result? So the coin that you're looking at, they're talking about here, is Worldcoin. Now, Worldcoin, as you will see, had a huge pump up after this news here on the 9th, as high as $2. And actually, when it first went public, like a while ago, it went as high as almost $10 per coin. And then it kind of sold back off again as a result. Now, World ID, what is it? So the World company here is very interesting. This project, to me, that's backed by Sam Altman, who's also on the huge maker of this project here, who's the AI expert himself. This is a very interesting project to me and a very interesting idea. And I want to talk about what I like about it and why I think this could actually be the future. Now, it is on the edge of, it is under, like fire of like scrutiny and stuff like that, of like data privacies and stuff like that. But I'll give you my take afterwards as we go through it here. So basically, using World ID. So basically what you would do is you would go to this orb, which is located, they're starting to put them all over the world here. You would go to this orb here and you would scan your eyes, it would scan your iris, and essentially it would create a unique human identification for you. Okay? And only you and you only, right? So nobody else can copy it. Okay? Now, I did shout this out on the Kingdom podcast like 2 weeks ago. I saw this as a coin house. It's actually pretty interesting software. Am I bummed I didn't get in earlier? Yes, of course. But let's break it down more. So you can use World ID to verify that you are real and a unique human and not a bot to access things only humans should, like concert tickets, video games, limited merch shops, and dating apps. That in and of itself to me is very, very common. Trying to buy tickets, you have bots that are out there that are buying and reselling on behalf of people. Sneaker drops was a huge one. I watched a video a while ago about Vice where one guy had a bot he made that bought up shoes that were limited releases, and then he would be able to resell them later on when they went out of stock because it's supply and demand. Video games, you're playing against bots on video games, which is crazy. Dating apps, I'm sure people have been catfished once or twice in their life on Tinder based off of this. So this software, this ID, the World ID here could bridge this gap and basically allow us to say, I know I'm talking to a human and not anybody else, not a bot, not a scammer, nothing. And to me, that's very powerful because as AI keeps developing and becoming more and more human and more realistic, which is kind of scary to think about because it's going to be here for a while. When do we get to a point where we start to really question if it's human or if it's a bot? Right now, we can kind of tell when ChatGPT has been used or AIs or anything else. We can kind of tell when that's the case and when that's going on. But as it gets better and better and better, then what happens, right? So I'm kind of thinking that like this is a very, very good opportunity here. And this is what it looks like. It even has this humanity verified here. You also can put like your passport on here, which is very, very cool. It's basically like you get to walk around on your phone with this ID app, basically saying that you are you and nobody else. That's powerful to me. In the age of social media, of, identity theft skyrocketing when people are trying to take identities and trying to scam people and stuff like that. In the world where, I hate to say it, people are making fake OnlyFans bots to basically, try to take advantage of people who love OnlyFans content, whatever the case is. This right here is the way that you can verify that you are interacting with a human and not someone that is fake. That's what I like about this. Okay. I think it's very, very cool. So, and taking a look down here, again, there's a lot of things we could talk about in this. And I don't think I have enough time to talk about this in depth as much as I can, but I would always encourage someone to look into the website, look into the platform, look at the white papers, all that kind of good stuff here, and as to what we are doing as a result. Okay. So, it says verify your World ID. So, World ID verification happens at an orb, a device that verifies you are a unique human. After you verify with an orb, your proof of human, which is World ID, is stored on your phone in the World app where you can use it to sign into online apps and services. You control your data. After you verify you are human, the data is encrypted, sent to your phone, and permanently deleted from the orb. Only your phone has your data and your World ID. Now, people say, oh, well, people are going to be selling your data just for a couple bucks and da-da-da-da. And it's deleted from the orb once it goes to your phone on the World ID app. When you're on the World app, you are able to get your own, your data goes there, your information goes there, and then it's deleted from the orb. Okay. And people will say, oh, like I'm worried about my identification, worried about my data and stuff like that. Keep in mind that like your phones, and things that we do every single day, like people are able to get access to your data, and this could be the way to limit the data that can be accessible from people trying to scam, trying to hack, and those kind of things. So that's something that's very, very important. There's a very common misconception about this idea where their data's out there and it goes into a database and then people can sell it and whatever. No, they say that your information is deleted from the orb and only your phone will have data to it on your World ID. Okay, and that's it. World ID credentials allow you to connect valid forms of ID to your World ID to prove things about yourself beyond that you're a unique human without sharing any identifiable information with third parties. So you can put your passport on there, which is very, very cool. You can put probably your driver's license on there. You can put all these different things on there, and it makes your life a lot easier because imagine that, you're going to the airport, you need to travel overseas. Oh, I forgot my passport. Well, if it's on your phone is with you everywhere you go. There you go. You can pull up your passport and it could potentially be that way to alternate having an actual passport book. Very, very cool. Deepfake solved. Deepfakes protects against malicious deepfakes online. Deepfakes basically are those things where, it looks like you're talking to Morgan Freeman, for example, and it's actually not. It's someone who's mimicking that and has software to cover it up and make it look like you're talking to actually Morgan Freeman. Built for real-time communication, Deepfakes uses World ID authentication to confirm that the person you're speaking with is a real human, not a deepfake. The other person can easily prove they're not a deepfake and help build trust online. And again, it's all verified here. Try a game with bots, all that kind of stuff there. Inspired by face authentication technology already used by millions of people, which is true. You guys use Face ID for your phones already, probably to unlock and stuff like that. Face Auth is an added layer of security for World ID holders. A live Face Auth confirmation within World app ensures that World ID can be used by the person who created it, which is very, very awesome as well. And there's just so many things here that you can look into. I went on their Twitter page here. They have over 15 million people using it. I believe it's now even higher than that. Let me take a look here. Here's the main page that we're looking at here. World ID, World App, World Chain, Worldcoin. You can kind of look through everything here. We have it's in millions of humans in 160 countries with World ID. You have 16 million unique humans right now at the time of recording this video. 16 humans. And let me actually make this screen just a little bit smaller so you guys can get a better visual of the numbers here. Look at that. All right. So you have 16 million unique humans right now. And again, as we know, the world is 8.4 billion or almost 9 billion. I don't even know what it is anymore at this point. But tokens distributed 748 million. New accounts in the last 7 days is 892,000. Daily wallet transactions. Total wallet transactions over 600 million. World app users 35 million. Verification 320,000 in 160 plus countries. And there's 1,703 orbs. You can take a look and see. You can click onto it. So there's, you got one that looks like in Africa, which is pretty cool. Where you can verify your ID. They just started putting it out in the US, which is pretty cool as well. This one is in, I don't know if it says where it is or not, but they're going to start working on that as well. It looks like as well. But here's the really cool thing, right? With this kind of crypto coin, with Worldcoin here, what I like differently about this compared to, other ones is that you actually have literally a physical thing. You have physical presence in this kind of project. These orbs are around the world. They have data that tracks it, and they have the numbers that track it. We have 1,700 orbs. That's physical product. There's physical product here. And you have 16 million people that have done it so far. That's a very small portion of the entire population. But this is very, very early stages of this idea, and people are starting to do it, right? It's very, very interesting. 35 million World app users. So you don't even need to do the verification here to use the World app, but it definitely helps you out as you do more and more. And again, it's under scrutiny. It's under, this pressure because, some governments ban it because they're saying, oh, it's data privacy and stuff like that. But again, the data goes right to your phone and then it deletes it off of the orb itself. So you don't have access to it anymore from that kind of platform there, right? This is huge. I honestly I cannot. I've been reading up on this like nonstop since I saw this kind of, thing. And it's huge, right? If you take a look at their Twitter page here, they have 50 million here. Here's Dan Ives for the Real Human Network, which is a huge thing as well. More than 50% of online shoppers are bots, and they're drastically altering the digital marketplace. World ID provides a path forward by ensuring human-only access to launches. Same thing with buying tickets. The World Cup is coming around next year, and people probably have bots that might be trying to buy them there. All those kind of things. It's very, 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 very just frustrating when you can't get those kind of things, right? There's more things they talk about in terms of like what they have coming out here, buying that. Captcha nightmare. This is really interesting actually as well. So imagine trying to untangle these again to verify you're a human person here in this case, trying to verify it. But if you have proof of human from this kind of app, it says, boop, there you go. We're done. We move on. And they're partnering with a lot of companies here. They're partnering with Visa as well, which is very, very cool. They are accessible for like Twitch to make sure you're talking to somebody on Twitch who's actually legit. You have WhatsApp, but they have all these different partnerships that are going on right now. And I'm just so excited about this. Like, this is what the orbs look like in person here. They're not just a robot. It's very, very fascinating. Let me tell you, there are videos that are out there. This is the Captcha thing, for example. There's YouTube videos out there that I would encourage you to watch if you really want to see more about what this is about here, because there's so much here that I can't even cover it all. And I honestly was just so mind blown by what they're doing and how it works. But imagine being able to say, yep, this is me. I'm talking to somebody else who is also verified on this network. So I know for a fact I'm talking to a human, because I hate to say it, and it's just the reality of things. AI is really developing now. We're looking at deep fakes online. We're looking at fake content creators who are just using them to try to make money that way. This is the way where, imagine if we get to a point where it's very, very hard to tell if you're a human. This project could really make a difference. Okay. And taking a look, they go through all the things here. If you're worried about data, right? What personal data is stored when I verify? Neither World Foundation nor Tools for Humanity store any personal data from individuals' verification. Photos taken by the orb are encrypted, sent to the device, and then immediately deleted. Do you share data? No, they do not share your data. Okay. They're not, unless they're required to do so by law, of course. Do you sell data? No, they don't sell your data. How can I delete my data? You can delete your profile data and World app account at any time. So if you need to do that, if you need to. Is data secure? Yes, it is. Any personal data shared with the world is encrypted in transit and at rest. You can read more about it as we go. How does World work with governments and regulators? Now, again, this is a huge thing that people worry about. Before orb verifications are conducted in any country, local legal counsel is engaged to review World and provide advice. The review is comprehensive, covering data protection and cryptocurrency regulations, because, again, you have the World app, which has the World token, which you can then use for transactions. You can send money from person to person. You're talking to a person. You're sending money to a legit person, not a scammer, for example. And they talk about labor, hardware certifications, all that kind of stuff. So the 160 countries, these people have gone through and looked in depth into what this company does here. They want to keep working with regulatory bodies globally to ensure that World continues to meet regulatory requirements and that the public is provided a safe and secure, transparent service. And they abide by laws. You can go through all these FAQs. Like I said, there's so much here. It's absolutely amazing. The World app is so cool. What can you do with it? Again, you can sign up for it, and then you can do verified transactions with the World ID, such as using mini apps. And so they're basically building like apps and games on this World app here. Basically like almost like a mini app store here. Very, very cool stuff. They had an example they showed a while ago where it was Flappy Bird, but now it's something else. But you could use that if you want to. You could play against other people if you need to. And it doesn't share personal data like names or email addresses, which is very, very cool. I know like when you do like an app on the App Store, you got to sign in for your email and stuff like that. Self-custodial cryptocurrency wallet also gives people access to decentralized finance. Individuals can use it to save, send, deposit, and withdraw cryptocurrencies. This is made possible in part through reputable service providers. Like there's just so many other things here. Like it's unbelievable, guys. Honestly, if you have questions, what information do I have to share to sign up? No data like name, email address, or phone number must be shared for you to download the World app and create an account. You must share further information with Tools for Humanity, such as phone number to enable phone verification, but other information is not required. Decentralized, private information here. It's very, very cool. Again, how does it work? World is a network of real humans built on anonymous proof of human technology and powered by a globally inclusive financial network that enables the free flow of digital assets for all. It is built to connect, empower, and be owned by everybody. Okay. Now, again, people are talking about how, the future of finance and investing and, sending money is through cryptocurrencies, right? But think about all the ways you could be sending money to somebody else. And what if you're sending money to somebody overseas who's trying to pretend to be somebody else, maybe like a family, a friend, or whatever, and you can't prove it's them or not. You just say, here's your crypto wallet. Okay, cool. You send the money over. This is the way to bridge the gap. If you want to send money seamlessly over cryptocurrency, World app would be the way to do it, in my opinion, because it allows you to send money to somebody else. And as long as that somebody else is also verified on the platform, you know who you're sending it to, you know where it's going, and you know that it's going to that person specifically. And again, they're only verified when they scan their iris on the orbs that are located throughout the world. Okay. So that it's amazing technology. And again, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to need to basically have to know how to prove ourselves now as humans. It's weird that we have to, but we're going to have to do that as a result of it. Right. And they have a bunch of things you could do for it. It's just, this is the coin that I want to get into. And I've already started purchasing just a little bit of it in this case here. I've been buying in just a tiny bit here and there. I think this token is going to be, it's going to do very, very nicely. And the way I would rather put money into this compared to like Ethereum or compared to like, Bitcoin, I still have a little bit of money in Bitcoin and Ethereum for sure, a little bit of XRP and XLM, but this is what I'm going to add to my portfolio only because, if you're looking for a double in this case, it would have to go to $3. Right. And it went to $3, back in December of last year, came back down. Now it's starting to get a little bit more momentum play again. It was as high as $10. You're looking at almost a 10x potential. And again, we only have right now, at the time of recording this, 16 million. What is the population of the world right now? Let me look this up here. World population. Let's look it up because we got time. 8 point as of 2024. Is there a live count here? Oh, world population clock live. Let's take a look. Oh man, this is crazy. So it's 8.2 billion people right now. So if we're doing the math here, because we all love to do math, myself included here. So we're looking at 8.2 billion people. Right now they only have 16 million. So 16 million divided by 8.2, that's million. That's going to be million, 100 million, billion. There we go. You're looking at not even 1%. You're looking at 0.2% of the world is verified right now. You want to talk about early stages? This is early stages right here. Let me tell you. And again, I'm not saying to full port it into this. I'm not saying to full port your whole life savings into this coin here and hope for the best here. But this is a coin where I think it's going to be the future. There's so many more things to do here. There's so many more ways you get verified here. But the fact that there's actually a product that goes with it, Dan Ives is now on the chair for it. There's money being poured into it. I wouldn't go into the company, into the stock itself. I would just buy the token, honestly. I think the token's the way to go because this token is going to be something that's going to be very, very useful, very, very long term. But, obviously the only time will tell. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And again, if you're wondering why this company went up 5,000% at one point, that is why. And you get a little bit of an insight as to what I think about it. There's so many more things you can cover. Check out the World YouTube channel if you want to. It's a very, very cool thing. Listen to Sam Altman talk about it and the project and the goals for it. and I'm bullish on this long term. I think it's going to be a phenomenal play. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you made it fun the video, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications as per usual. I do hope you're making money in the market, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next video.